Hello, everybody. We're going to give a few minutes for folks to get joined. We're seeing all of you lovely attendees pouring in. Do a few shout outs. The entire OC Sound Chorus is apparently here. Hello, Andy, Donna, Lou, Julianne, hi. Hi, Joyce. Hey, Lorna. 37 people. Fantastic. We're going to give just another minute. This is round about where I was expecting attendance to be at. So, hello, everybody. Good morning for some of you, especially in Hawaii, also California. And I think are we at afternoon, I think, at this point, for most everybody else, I think. So let's go ahead and start. So, hey, everybody, this is going to be the webinar format. So we're not able to see all of you. We can see that you are attending. Feel free to use the Q&A. Feel free to use the chat. We'll try and respond as you put things into Q&A, but more likely, because we have a lot of content to cover, we will answer any questions offline after the fact. So all of that will be captured and the comments will be captured, and we'll get back to any questions through there. So let's start our annual town hall. This is something that we would normally do at our summer seminar event, which, as you all know, was a little bit different this year. But it's just really important that we take some time and get to know our leadership team, and also get to recognize all the great work that's happened throughout the region. So I want to start with introducing all of us on the regional management team, and let's start with Tammy.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tammy Myers. I am from OC Sound Chorus from Orange County, California. I am the communications coordinator. This is my first year. So welcome to our webinar, and that's me.
Daylan, you're on mute. The phrase of 2020.
Good morning, afternoon, everybody. I'm Dale Ann Kerrigan, and I am the co-director and member of Tucson Desert Harmony in Tucson, Arizona. I've been in Sweet Adelines for 33 years with a tiny little break. And my position on the RMT is the director's coordinator. And I'd just like to say welcome to everybody today.
Hi everyone, my name is Kim Bettendorf. I sing with the Harbor Lights Chorus in Orange County, California. I am the RMT Education Coordinator. This is also my first year. Thank you so much for having me. And I've been in Sweet Adelines for a total of 12 years.
And I'm Victoria Kemsley. I'm your events coordinator, a member of Harbor Lights Chorus, like my friend Kim, and I have been in Sweet Adelines for 16 years.
Hi, I'm Claudia Cannon. I'm from the San Diego Chorus. I've been in Sweet Adelines since 1995, so let's do the math. And I'm very happy to see you all today. I am the marketing coordinator, and this is also my first year.
And I'm Bev Berardinelli. I've been in Sweet Adelines for 33 years. I am a member of Enchanted Mesa Show Chorus in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And this is my second year as membership coordinator on the RMT.
Everybody, I'm Mary Chilton. I'm the finance coordinator. I'm into my 6th year in that position, and I'm with Simply Acapella Chorus. I'm also their team coordinator. I've been a Sweet Adeline for about 20 years, and I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you for being here today.
Thanks, everyone. And I am Adelina Duda. I'm your team coordinator this year. I have been a Sweet Adeline since 2006, with all of that time with OC Sound Chorus. I have been on the regional management team for about 5 years in a couple different roles, starting as the membership coordinator and now as the team coordinator. So really honestly, it's my pleasure to work with all of these women on a regular basis. And we're just going to kind of recap how the year has gone so far. We've got some folks that left the regional management team that we really didn't have a chance to publicly acknowledge at summer seminar like we would normally do. So our former communications coordinator was Karen Latterman. She was in this role for such a long time, and you all know the passion that she has contributed to our region, to our craft, to her chorus, to all the things that we do. And we thank her for her service over the last many years. Also, our former education coordinator is Bonnie McKibben with OC Sound Chorus, and she was in that role also for quite a long time, brought in a lot of great educational opportunities and fantastic insights to the RMT. And while Kat Shaver left the RMT role at the end of the 2018-2019 year, but being the awesome trooper that she is, when we didn't have a replacement, she continued on many of the functions in that role for a full other year. So we just want to thank her again for all of her service. We also have a couple of people shadowing on the RMT. So our finance coordinator shadow is Robin Haddock from OC Sound Chorus. And our team coordinator shadow, who I'm so thankful for, is Darren Hurst from Scottsdale Chorus. And the approach that we like to take with the RMT is that we would love people to learn more about these positions. And a great way to do that is to shadow the people who are already in the role. Just kind of follow along and be a fly on the wall over the course of a year or several months or whatever. We would love shadows for all of the other positions. So if any of you have any interest in learning more about the regional management team, about our regional activities, this is kind of a great time to jump in and shadow. We, as you know, we don't have a lot of, events in progress. And so we're spending a lot of time just kind of getting through the year and learning more about the role. And we would love to have you in on our meetings and shadowing all of us, really. So looking at where most of our focus for today is going to be on the 2019-2020 year. We would normally do this much earlier in the year, and so we've got a little bit of a weird time lag going on, but we're still going to recap all the great stuff that happened. So May 2019, we had a new prospective chapter start, and that's Coachella a cappella out in the Palm Springs area. They gathered for the first time as a prospective chorus. In July, we had Camp Orange Blossom with Sharon Babb. It was a great time. This was a massive multi-track education weekend. We had things for musical leaders. We had things for singers, quartetters. We did our color choruses, and we had an arranger track as well. So we got to spend the day with Nancy Bergman. We had our double quartet champions putting on style, and our Golden Banana recipients, the Bling Singers that you can see in the photos. It was a great time. We also had kind of our best ever Stars of the West event. And this is our Young Women in Harmony competition that we started a few years ago. And it was really a place where all of you can sponsor a Young Women in Harmony quartet, bring them to this event and give them an opportunity to sing in front of a great barbershop friendly crowd. We had 5 competitors this past year, and the winners were Valkyries. We also had another prospective chorus, one that's in Hawaii, Mele Okona. They advanced into step 2 of that prospective chapter process. So they're still working towards building up their membership and building towards becoming an official Sweet Adelines chapter. And then we also had several folks from Region 21 attend the International Directors and Visual Leaders Seminar. And then throughout fall and throughout winter, this year was a Make Your Own Music Fest year, or the 2019-2020 year was. And so we had events that occurred all throughout the region on that. In September, we had the International Convention in New Orleans, which was a really, really big weekend for Region 21. And a little bit later, we'll talk about the Rah-Rah and how many of you helped make that such a fantastic family event for Region 21. Of course, Viva is our new international quartet champions with Patty Cobb Baker from Region 21. We had Lucille as our international 11th place quartet, and their mic testers. San Diego Chorus came in 12th place. C'est la vie made a great showing at 19th place as quartet. And then Scottsdale Chorus was the outgoing champions and gave a fantastic swan song performance. In January, We had the virtual roundtable on membership. We kind of went virtual before anybody else did. We were already taking a look at how we could use virtual education and incorporate that into our plans. We had quartet matchings in Arizona and California. In February, we had stage days. And then in March, things started to look a little bit differently, right? And we had to start looking at our hobby quite differently. And we turned on a dime, and many thanks to Kim Bettendorf and to Love Notes on making changes for our summer seminar. But kudos to the Regional Convention Steering Committee for making our virtual competition weekend a really kind of a very quick success. I think they turned that around in a week, maybe 2 weeks, to pull that together. So one of the things that we do as a regional management team is every year we put together a State of the Region report. And we are given a boatload of questions from international, and a couple of highlights I want to call out for you as our biggest challenges and our biggest successes. So on the challenges front, I'm sure it's no surprise to any of you, our top item was the pandemic. This resulted in our cancellation of all of our in-person activities, which really, I know all of you are struggling with this on a regular basis. This really kind of crimps our style as singers, right? When we can't sing together in person. And so this is really going to continue to be our biggest challenge throughout the remainder of this year and probably well into the next Sweet Adeline year as well. The rest of these items are things that we have continued to have on our biggest challenges list, and these are things that are always at the forefront for the regional management team when planning events. First is keeping in consideration our geographically diverse region. We span a very wide geography across an ocean and half the country. And so that's always a challenge when we're talking about, oh, where are our venues and how much is it going to cost? Finding venues, having those venues and the events be very cost effective. These are things that are front of mind for all of us all the time. And then the other thing is just keeping our smallest courses motivated and engaged. We have some courses in our region that are struggling. We have some courses that are considering going into revitalization mode, that we are trying to figure out how do we make this hobby work for them, and how do we rejuvenate their life within their communities. And then the other item is always, right, identifying our future regional leaders. As you can imagine, you heard from everybody, we've got long tenure. We all have experience in leading our choruses, as well as doing our regional leadership duties. We're looking for more people to work and gain this experience and to bring that thought diversity into the regional management team leadership roles. But moving on to our successes, right? Some of the things that we're really proud of is that we've got 2 growing prospective chapters, Meliokona out in Hawaii, and then also the Coachella Acapella out in the Palm Springs area. We've got some very strong Young Women in Harmony programs that are happening out in your chapters. You all are the ones that are making this happen. And we've got multiple events that happen throughout the region on a regular basis. And then we've got our Stars of the West program that we started a few years ago that is now growing and growing, and we saw our biggest attendance last year. We have amazing education and faculty right at our fingertips, and we saw that through the 2019-2020 year. So, and I've got all of those faculty listed. We had Sharon Babb, Nancy Bergman, Emo O'Brien, Pam, Bonnie, C'est La Vie, Dale Ann, Patty, Kim, Kathleen, and miscellaneous chorus out there, whether at an event or out at your chapters. We know that we've got fantastic education within our region. And then our virtual roundtable events. This was a new thing that we did in this 2019-2020 year. And back in January, we had our membership virtual roundtable that was pretty well attended. And one of the things that I'll do, and somebody will need to remind me, is that I'll pop a link back out on that. That was a recorded event, and it's something that all of your chapters, if you're not aware and if you're passionate about, what to do on the membership front, how to gain members, how to keep members, there's a lot of great ideas that were shared in that forum. Another thing that we've been doing for a couple years and is gaining participation at our in-person events is that we started offering personal leadership consultations. So not a private voice instruction, but a leadership consultation, where folks like Mary Chilton will sit down with you and talk to you about what's the best way to manage finances for your chorus. How do I use Quicken or Quicken Online? I've had conversations with people about strategic planning for their chorus and just general leadership topics or membership topics. And then also, of course, just the awesome singing that we have throughout our region. You already saw the representation that we had at International, but every single one of you has a voice that contributes to the voice of our region and helps to make us the fabulous region that we are. Our biggest success, though, was that we hit our 45th birthday. And it's a very strange time. Yeah, I know. Yay. 45 years. 45 years. And this happened while we were all in little boxes here in Zoom. And so keep this at heart. This is temporary what we are going through, and we will be together again soon. And we have got to celebrate this birthday. So if you've got ideas on that, if you want to help participate on that, let us know your name because we want you to help. And speaking of help, right? We need future leaders of the region. We need volunteerism across the region. And we know, I get it. Oftentimes it's just a matter of those of us on the team, we just don't ask when we need it. And you know, many of you who have leadership roles within your chapters, you know how it gets, right? Especially if you're working, you have obligations at the home, outside of the home. You know, oftentimes something is left to the last minute. You don't have time to ask somebody, you don't have time to teach somebody. But the more that we can break down all the things that we do to keep our hobby and growing and making it into what we want it to be, the more we can break that down into little things that everybody can contribute to, the better it's going to be. Just imagine if we had everybody's input on what's going on throughout the region. So if you want to help, it doesn't matter what your skills are. What we want is we want passion. We want people with time and energy. We know right now during the pandemic that time and energy comes at a premium, right? It comes at a premium, and there is a whole mental fog around what's going on with the restrictions that are still in place. But we know that passion is out there. So let me know if you're interested in getting involved. And I'm going to turn it over to Mary so she can give us a finance report.
Hi, it's me again. Just now keep in mind that these numbers are as of April 30th of 2020. So this is our last fiscal year. We had summer seminar during that time, but we did not have regional competition. So as you can see, our actual income for the year was only $34,000. Our actual expenses were $46,000. We have some money, about $40,000 in an investment account, and we lost a little money there, $2,507. And that gave us a net loss for the year of $14,626. So the majority of the expenses that caused this loss were from summer seminar last year, and then just our normal activities of RMT and RCSE getting together to plan the events coming up. But however, although we had a $14,000 loss, we're still in a really great place. Our total assets, which is basically cash, and our $40,000 investment account is $192,000. So we, as the RMT, do everything we can to do everything as cheaply as possible to monitor this and to watch the money. Our liabilities at this point, which is money owed, is only $11,000. That term net restricted assets, I know that's kind of an odd term, but that is the nonprofit term for those of you in accounting who are familiar with retained earnings or owner's equity. That's how much money the region has earned since the beginning of time. So, like I said, we're in a good place. We do everything we can to keep it reasonable and inexpensive. And right now, not much is happening. We're not spending any money. We're not really earning any money, just collecting some of the regional assessments that come in. So it's going to be kind of a strange financial year as we move forward, but this is where we are. And we're going to keep plugging along until we get back to normal. And if anyone ever has any questions, please, please, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm more than happy to share any of the financial information with you. That's all I have for today.
Hello. So I wanted to give you all a quick overview of our social media presence. Right now, to be honest, our Facebook group is really the primary source of communication and information on our region. But we do want to start updating the rest of these sites a little bit more to bring everything a little bit more current. So if you are great at any of these, let me know if you want to help. That would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, so we have Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and Flickr. And again, most of our primary source really is Facebook at this time.
All right. So in terms of, I'm gonna tag team this with Victoria, but in terms of education and events, going back a little bit to our summer seminar, which we're so thankful that was so well attended. We had over 200 people in attendance, and we did ask for feedback from you, which we got a ton of. And we really want to listen to you as we are developing educational content going forward. So you'll see a lot of TBD here. But one of the things that we heard from all of you is bite-sized content, stuff that fits into your flexible schedule. We want to make sure that we are accommodating your needs at this time instead of having the big day-long summer seminar, which was amazing and had a lot of great content, but we understand that that's not always feasible for everyone. So be on the lookout for more of a slow drip, bite-sized education content that's going to come out over the next few months and into next year. And to talk a little bit more about the future events, I'll pass that over to Victoria.
Oh, well, of course, we all know that regional was canceled, but we haven't given up hope, and we have plans going forward. Fortunately for us, Phoenix, which was going to be our last year of being in Phoenix, the vendors there, the hotel and the theater, were very cooperative in renegotiating our terms. But the exciting announcement is in 2022 and 2023, we're going to be in Albuquerque. I'm very excited about it because it's a great location. We'll be at the Hyatt and at the Convention Center, and more details will be following, but kind of put that in your pocket for now, that we'll be there for 2 years. We're going to have some extra fun things to do other than convention. So you can, be maybe considering coming a day early or staying a day later. And then the next 2 years, we're going to be in California. We're going to be in Redondo Beach. That's something that the membership has asked for a long time, especially the California people. And we're going to be there for 2 years. And then the next year, which now we're at 2026, can you believe it? We're going to be back in Phoenix. So we have a plan going forward for regional that I'm very excited about. We also have our regional convention steering committee, which we actually met today just to check in. They're still dedicated. They're still thinking about the future, and we're working for you to consider all options for the future. We are talking about a summer seminar in 2021. What that's going to look like is the TBD part. We're going to have something, but is it going to be virtual or is it going to be in person? But you see there on the slide that our faculty has already committed, Lori Leifert and Jana Goodinson. So that's very exciting. What else do we have? Oh, there's other things that we traditionally do, like a Rangers seminar or a director seminar or a quartet seminar, and all of those are on hold because we don't want to commit to any contracts until we see what's happening moving forward. But we're very excited and are looking to find ways to keep you all engaged. And we're going to be back together. That's it for me.
All right, and I am back on it. So I wanted to give some shout outs to everyone who's been helping to make our education plan a reality. Obviously, a huge congratulations to Bonnie McKibben, our former education coordinator, who helped bring me into this and has been giving me a lot of advice. And for her many years of service, we thank her. For our Young Women in Harmony, thank you to Annie Hayes from Tucson Desert Harmony. For Ranger Development, it was both Joyce Burke and Susie Loba, OC Sound and Chapter at Large, respectively, to help with the Ranger Development. And our Club 21 liaisons, Emily O'Brien from Harbor Lights and Dale Ann Kerrigan from Tucson Desert Harmony. And for Camp Orange Blossom, there were obviously a whole host of people who helped make that a large education event successful. We had Selah V Quartet, Pam Pison, Sarah Shapiro, from Harbor Lights, Kathleen Hansen from San Diego. And Kathleen Hansen has been helpful in a number of ways, education-wise, and putting out a lot of content as well. For quartet development, thank you to Kathy Wright from Harbor Lights. And of course, another huge shout out to Kat Shaver for continuing to help with marketing even after her term had ended, and she's from Harbor Lights Chorus. And all of those folks who were mentioned will be getting a small gift in the mail, so keep an eye out for that.
Well, I would like to just say thank you to Andy Rostel, who has continued with our director certification program. She was just telling me recently that we have had a couple of people that have actually continued their journey through the DCP program during all of this. And we have one person from OC Sound who is, I think, maybe has 1 or 2 tests left. The biggest challenge on the DCP program has been that we're not meeting together. And so it's really hard to get the hands-on qualifications done. But we're working around it the best we can. And we do have the proctors. These are the proctors that were in the program for the last year. I'm hoping to have some other people in this coming year or two. But we'd like to thank Johnny, Chris, Bonnie, Andy, Kathleen, Leah, myself, and Karen for helping out whenever we needed assistance in the DCP program. I'd like to applaud all of the directors who are just hanging in there, because this has just been a crazy year for everybody. And I want to thank you for the participation at our happy hour, our director's happy hour at summer seminar this past summer. I know that's this isn't supposed to be for this year, but I had to say that anyway. I've got some things that I'm hoping that we can get our schedules together and maybe have something online in the very near future for just the directors. And I'm excited about the 2 prospective choruses. And I just want to say thank you. And if there's anything that I can do, or you just want to talk to somebody, I'm now the co-director of Tucson Desert Harmony, so I'm back in there with you in that respect too. So if you just want to talk, you want to run something past me, you have an idea for the directors, please give me a call, email me, just reach out, and I hope to do the same with you over the next couple of months. But thank you so much.
And on behalf of Karen Latterman, I wanted to go ahead and thank all of the people who helped this last year for communications. So of course, Karen Latterman from Harbor Lights, thank you so much for all of the work that you put in and for the many, many years of hard work and dedication that you put in. For a roster, Sue Bowden, Carol Corgrove, both from Route 66 and Harbor Lights. And then of course, Golden West Magazine, Karen and Kathy Wright, both from Harbor Lights. Website work was helped with Katie Metcalf, Karen Latterman, and myself. Regional photography, Kathy Wright, Kat Shaver, and Kim Scott, all from Harbor Lights. Woohoo, Harbor Lights. And then we also have History Committee with Casey Callahan, Courtney Crow, Janelle Clemens, and Kim Bettendorf. Again, with Harbor Lights. Thank you all so very much for all of the work that you did this past year.
Hi. So my team appreciation is extensive because, of course, it takes a village to put on an event. Suzanne Doble from Scottsdale was our awards chair, and she's meticulous and does a great job. Registration chair and roster chair, and also a member of the Regional Convention Steering Committee, you'll note, Sue Bowden. Our MC at Summer was Tracy Sandberg. Our equipment wrangler from Scottsdale is Carol Poole, and our webcast coordinator is Mary Slade Branham, who manages to wrestle that issue with terms that I just don't even understand. Now, the Regional Convention Steering Committee that I mentioned earlier, Mary Chilton, who you saw is also the financial coordinator on the RMT, is the chair of the Regional Convention Steering Committee and has agreed to stay on. Competition coordinator, Lou Gordon, also staying on. Official panel liaison, Darren Hurst, who I think you have noted is the shadow team leader for RMT. And the assistant chapter coordinator, Doreen Philbin, representing the Harbor Lights. So this one-year job has turned into a two-year job. Thank you, Doreen. And the overall assistant secretary and Victoria Wrangler is Sue Bowden from Route 66 Sound. Thank you all.
Hi. I'd just like to say thank you again to Kat Shaver and Kathy Wright for all, and to Karen Latterman for all of the content that I'm now finding as I go back and look through the archives, especially the photographic work done by Karen Latterman, who's not listed up there, because this is just a gold mine for us to use in future endeavors. Thanks to Risa Page, Janelle Clemens, Katie Metcalf, Chris Jett, and Kathy Wright for their help in social media, and for the Stars of the West promotion, which was very successful. Caitlin Trevo, Melanie Barker, Kristen Moeller, Taylor Daniels, and Sherry Mills. Thank you all so much.
All right, hey everybody. So as I've already mentioned, and it's been mentioned a couple times, my team coordinator shadow right now is Darren Hurst. I'm so appreciative that she's stepped in and is wanting to learn what this role is, especially during this very unusual year. We have our Standing Rules Committee, Kathy Bowman, who does all of the standing rules reviews for the chapters. Calendar assistance has been done by Deb Kerrigan of Vista Hills. I'm sorry, Kathy's with Inland Empire, Darren's with Scottsdale. And this year I adopted, or I created a Region 21 International Love Committee for New Orleans. And I was so thrilled by the amount of people who were willing to help and who pitched in, because I wasn't able to be in New Orleans. So thank you to Karen Latterman, Victoria Kemsley, Kat Shaver, Chris Robertson, Suze Kilpatrick, Caroline Lawrence, Robin Haddock, Tammy Myers, Kathy Farrell, Katie Cypress, Gloria Ives, Kathy Swenson, Trina Carroll, Linda Rowand, Amy Hall, Betty Shook, Tina Sheabley, Danny Carngan, Andrea Donahue, Sue Bowden, and Phyllis Parkle. And the representation across the region came from all over the place, from Harbor Lights, Inland Empire, OC Sound, Vista Hills, Route 66 Sound, and the prospective Melio-Kona Chorus. So again, all of the people who are recognized today are going to receive a small gift in the mail. Give us a little bit of time and you know, send some good vibes over to Mary, because she's gonna be the one mailing them all out. So thank you, Mary, for doing that. Next up, I'm going to turn things over to Bev, who has some exciting awards to share.
Okay, thanks, Adelina. So it is my honor as the membership coordinator to recognize the achievements of our chapters across Region 21. And these regional awards are a powerful way to celebrate what occurred in 2019-2020. We're going to miss hearing your collective applause during this virtual event, but I just know that you're all going to find a creative way to congratulate these chapters. So first thing I want to say is, with the cancellation, unfortunately, of 2020 and 21 regional competitions, Rest assured, we will carry over the preferred seating, which was awarded at the 2019 summer seminar, to the next in-person competition. So that would be Inland Empire for the summer seminar participation award, and Putting on the Style, who were the double quartet winner from Harbor Lights. So on to the Chorus Growth Awards, and that's presented to the chorus with the greatest increase in membership during the fiscal year 2019-2020, based on the membership totals provided by Sweet Adelines International. There were 4 chapters with an increase in membership.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that was great. So in a tie with both chapters adding 1 member is Enchanted Mesa Show Chorus and West Wind Harmony Chorus.
Woo!
Yeah, adding 2 members is Vista Hills Chorus.
Go Vista Hills.
And the top overall growth award by adding 3 members goes to Route 66 Sound.
Yay for you guys.
So next we have the Chorus Participation Award. And that acknowledges the highest cumulative percentage of participation at each of the regional education events and spring convention. And the honorable mention for participation goes to, with 32%, Simply a cappella. Next, honorable mention with 35% goes to Vista Hills Chorus.
You guys.
And then with 36% honorable mention goes to OC Sound Chorus.
Woo!
Yay for you.
And our next honorable mention with 45% goes to Inland Empire Chorus. And the top overall participation award with 52% goes to Harbor Lights Chorus.
Yay!
Way to go, ladies. So, and our last award is the Nancy Bergman Harmonize the World Community Outreach Award. And that recognizes chorus efforts in spreading the word about Sweet Adelines within their communities. As some of you may remember, this award was named for Nancy in celebration of her 90th birthday. She is an international treasure in the Sweet Adelines world. She's given 50+ years of service to Sweet Adelines International as a quartet singer, Queen of Harmony, chorus director, judge, international faculty, international board of directors, and managing director of the Sweet Adelines International Headquarters Office. Nancy was honored with the Sweet Adeline International Lifetime Achievement Award in 2002, and she's a treasured master music arrangement, and with her arrangements being sung by hundreds of choruses and quartets around the world. So you know how important this community outreach award is to her. So we have honorable mention goes to Honolulu Blend Chorus. And the next honorable mention goes to Enchanted Mesa Show Chorus.
Yay.
And then finally, the top scoring chorus for the Nancy Bergman Harmonize the World Community Outreach Award goes to San Diego Chorus.
San Diego!
So congratulations to everyone.
Thank you so much, Bev, for giving those great awards out. And I am, we're going to transition to another part of the rest of our conversation today, and that is looking into the future. And Claudia Cannon's going to share some of the vision that we've been talking about as a regional management team and our focus for the remainder of this year and probably well into the next Sweet Adeline year.
Hi again, and I'm going to be assisted by my DJ, Tammy Myers, who also was very instrumental in helping me put this together. So thank you, Tammy. And so when you hear me say next slide, that's what she'll do. So here we go to the next slide. You know that we are all missing each other a lot. I remember the day we got the word in San Diego that our Carnegie Hall performance with Deke Sharon was going to be canceled, and he went online and said it'll be into 2021, probably spring of 2021, when choruses will get back together and be able to sing again. That I said that can't be. That would just never happen. And of course, reality dawned very soon for us after that. We never dreamed we'd be apart this long. And I know that it's very bittersweet for people, and that we've had to really pull from our inner resources and our joint resources to get together and keep the music happening. But we've done that, and I'm feeling so confident as we go into the future. Can we see the next slide? We have a real opportunity here because in this time, people have nested in their homes. They've been isolated way more than they thought they would. I think things that are spiritual and soul fulfilling have become so much more important to people. We've heard so much about how people have just started to question how much the material things in their lives matter and how much the spiritual and soul filling things do matter. And so we'll have a lot of people looking for us, not only for our music and for us to entertain them and be up in front of them again, but also to come and join us and to sing with us. So when we're back on the risers, we really need to be prepared for that. Next slide. There'll be these wonderful women. They're already coming out of the woodwork. They're already seeking us out and finding us. And you could put into chat right now for us if you've got a virtual member. I call them virtual members. They're really not. They're full members, but we may have never met them yet. If you've got somebody like that in your chorus, or you have somebody helping or along the path to become a member of your chorus, go ahead and add it on the screen because it's very important that we see that this is happening. And with our new efforts in Sweet Adelines International to be much more cognizant of gender roles and gender terminology and people with marginalized identities, we will see women and people of all kinds coming to us to be part of our choruses, and we need to be ready for them, and we need to be welcoming of them, and we're doing the things to make that happen now. Next slide. We've learned a lot. We've learned that music matters more than ever. We see it every day, mostly on television, where we see that creative people across the globe just will not let the music go. There are music award shows. There are people creating virtual presentations for us to be entertained. We're creating our own virtual presentations. And that music is something that we're just not willing to give up. We're going to hold on to that and carry it into the future. And our connections with each other matter more than ever. And those connections go very, very deep and very, very wide. We need to connect in ways that bring us together to sing. We need to connect in ways that bring us together to learn, and in ways that help us grow as individuals. And all of those things are so prevalent and rich in our choral community that we can never take it for granted again, I don't think. And of course, there's our friendships, which we miss being together very, very much, and being able to touch and hug and cry and laugh. But this is very temporary. And I keep reminding myself that my parents went through World War II. That was a 4-year duration of something very much like this, where everybody was isolated and away and not really knowing what was going on all the time with their loved ones. And they got through it. And it was 4 years. And this isn't going to be 4 years. So we just have to keep, when we get down and we we're feeling blue, we need to remind ourselves that it won't be long before we're back to our world as we know it. Next slide. So what can we all do? What we all can do is attend our virtual rehearsals. And, you know, we've kind of discussed this on the team a little bit. Some of us just get that visceral reward from being on the risers. And we miss that. We probably miss that more than anything, more than the singing itself, more than the performing. We miss the hearing of everyone around us. And so it's hard sometimes to get motivated to be at virtual rehearsal, but you need to be there. You need to be there not only for yourself, but you need to be there for the people that are in your chorus. You need to keep your vocal skills sharp. And that's another thing that came home to roost just in the last couple of days for me when we were asked to make recordings of a song in progress for us. And I listened to myself and was horrified because your vocal skills do deteriorate. If you don't use your voice, you need to sing every single day. And it feels like you're singing in a vacuum, but that's our gift. That's what we have to bring out of this pandemic into the future. You need to pay your dues so your chorus stays financially healthy, because it won't be healthy if we are complacent about that, or if we are resistant to that, or resent the fact that we may not be getting what we think is full value out of our chorus experience. You're paying an investment to the future when you pay your dues. So please do that. And we need everybody to get involved. And like Kim said, with little mini chunks of education, we need mini chunks of volunteerism. If anybody can take a little bit of a piece of something and help with it, because we all have skills that everyone doesn't share. We all have those particular unique things that you can do. Then step forward and help. Say you're interested in an area. We don't talk to each other enough, and we really need to start doing that. Next slide. So in saying that, the team has been talking about these things for the future as we round the corner away from this pandemic. We need more frequent direct communication with members in all kinds of ways. So you'll be hearing from us more via the RMT, and we want to hear back from you. We are going to have more digital communication. We're going to have more, Zoom is a tool that we've learned to use very, very well, and we can learn and we can use it for the future, even when we don't need it as much anymore. We might even pick up the phone and call you. What a concept. So if that happens, let's have a conversation about the things that we can all do to tie the region together. We need to increase our efforts to establish universal branding across the region. What does this mean? It means that that logo that you see of ours represents us. Those colors, those themes, those things that we can pull out from what Sweet Adelines International is doing on a worldwide basis, our own ideas about what we can do to tie our region together and talk about our region, and in turn then talk about our choruses, so that there are more people in our geographic area that know who we are, that know what we do, and that know what we're capable of and what we can bring to the community. We need to work with your chorus to increase your contact with media in your community. And we're going to be doing that by building more vigorous communication bridges to the media in your communities and trying to understand the media in your communities a little better and have them try to understand you a little bit better, so that when they see a press release from us or they see some kind of a notification for us, they get excited and they know that there's going to be a great story to tell. And we're going to get into some redesign on the website to better reflect the region, and more than that, to reflect individual choruses. Because even though we're tied together by, my phone is going off, stop. Even though we're tied together by the branding that we bring to the region and the unified message that we bring to the region, we are also tied we are also there to reflect what you all are as choruses and each of your individual personalities, because we all have an individual personality in our chorus. So, and each of us should understand that a little bit better about the other, and the world at large needs to understand that better about you. Next slide. So let's use this time wisely. It's time for us now to wake up. We've kind of been in our own little spaces and our caves, and we've done what we can do. And we have done an excellent job. I mean, we're really hanging in there with all the tools that we've discovered, the technologies, the new skills. We need to now wake up and start talking to each other and planning for the future. And it's going to take a lot of hands. We had a regional meeting, we had a little mini meeting, Tammy Myers and I, with some team leaders lately about, how to, bring more intercommunication to the region and what kind of tools would be best employed to do that. And, everyone said the same thing. We don't talk to each other enough. We don't know enough about each other, and we don't work together enough on joint projects to make really robust programs throughout our region and throughout Sweet Adelines International to make Region 20 Wonderful really resonate and people really know what we're doing. So with that said, with the next slide, I'd like to hear from you. Tammy would like to hear from you. We need those mini volunteers. Be a mini volunteer, please. And if you've got any kind of experience that relates to, all the things that the region needs, if you're an admin person and you rock on spreadsheets and you rock on putting organizational tools together, let us know. If you have social media expertise in any area, especially a niche area, let us know. If you want to just talk and be on steering committees, let us know. We need to spend the next 6 to 8 months before this pandemic is ended to really get ourselves in a position to accept all those wonderful new women that are going to want to know about us. Thank you, everybody. Hang in there. We'll take it to the next level.
Claudia, thank you so much for sharing all of that. And everybody, thank you so much for the recognition that you gave today, for talking about what's happening in your area on the regional management team. We're in an exciting time. It's a difficult time, but it's an exciting time. And again, I'm happy to be here with these wonderful women on the regional management team, and with all of you who joined us live today. For those of you who weren't able to join us live today, I get it. The world is still spinning on, right? But this video is going to be available for all of our members as soon as I can get it all up onto YouTube. So we will also make the chat and the Q&A available, the transcripts from that. So at this point, I really kind of want to open this up to people for any questions that you might have. Please use the Q&A button. It should be down towards the bottom of your screen. It says Q&A and it has 2 little quote bubbles on it. And we'll sit here and we'll kind of watch it for the next minute or so. But I can't echo enough the words that Claudia just provided to us, right? This is temporary. This is temporary. It's difficult. I am having difficulty getting through this every day. And really, honestly, my friendships with all of you are what keeps it going. And it is exciting to think about the things that we do have control over and how we might be able to put just a tiny bit more energy into that, just whatever we can give. And if all of us can give just a tiny little bit more, it's just going to benefit us all in the end. So I see a couple items in the Q&A. First from Tracy, any preliminary thoughts on Region 21 Spring Contest Substitute event? And I think that Victoria kind of mentioned that we're still talking about how we're going to handle the Region 21 Spring event. We know we're not going to have like the traditional contest. We don't have the guidelines yet from International. They have inferred there will be some kind of virtual contest capability. We don't have any details on that yet. So as soon as we have that, we'll definitely share. Victoria, do you want to add anything more on that?
Yeah, I do. I'd like to, can I put my video on here?
Absolutely. I think
Thank you.
I think you're now enabled.
Okay, am I? Asked me to start my video. Okay, great. One of the things I wanted to mention, and I'll say this on behalf of Lou Gordon, who brought this up again this morning, is that when we had a meeting with Sweet Adelines and they were alluding to this idea of a virtual contest and stuff, I don't know about you, but my gut is contest on, that just seems wrong. But what they were telling us is that all of the judges basically are trained and retrained and retrained and retrained on video. So if anybody can listen to something and understand the quality of the vocal product, to put it in those kinds of terms, it's our judges, because they look at videos to train, they look at live to train, of course, but before they go into a contest, they're sitting in a room looking at videos. So I just wanted to assure people that they are thinking about the variations in product if we do go ahead with some kind of video contest. So that's it. That's all I wanted to add.
Thanks, Victoria. There was also another question from Chris Robertson that Claudia answered in the chat, and I hopefully all of y'all can see it in the Q&A area. And that is around sharing who might have some talents that they can lend across the chapters. And this is absolutely something that we've been talking about is how do we get those names out there? The one thing is that I do want to say is really honestly, don't wait for us. And if you are somebody who is willing to lend your talents to our other chapters, to our quartets, to our administrative leaders, to our directors, if you have something that you would like to offer or make yourself available, please do that and announce yourself. You can put that on Facebook. You can send us a message and we can incorporate that into what we're building. Definitely let Kim Bettendorf know. Kim, do you want to add a little bit more on this topic?
Sure. Yeah, the idea of cross-training each other and providing a more, as Chris put it in her question, like a spice of life sort of thing, where you've got people visiting. Although one of the things we could do is make our sort of a list of people who we already know of as regional leaders and educators. You saw some of those in the thank yous that we were giving. Anybody, as you reviewed this recording, which will be available, you're welcome to look at those slides and see, who has already been giving education and reach out to them. We are also looking for, like we were talking about, bite-sized chunks to do. And then if anyone has a chorus where they're just, okay, we're stumped. We've tried everything. We're getting a little bored now. You're welcome to reach out to me personally. I'm happy to come and sit in on a chorus or just have a one-on-one discussion and see if we can brainstorm things that other choruses are doing. And also, we might put together another kind of a happy hour share suggestion like we did with the Tech Talk before Summer Regional this last year, which was recorded and is available. And a lot of people were sharing great information about technology, apps, the ways they've been using it to improve their choruses. So it's really going to be about sharing with each other, no matter what the format is, just getting out and asking the question. And use the Facebook group. I would recommend using the Facebook group for that as well. Post a question on there. See if somebody has an answer or a link they can share. People are pretty good about answering questions that come up on there as well.
Yeah, if there's no other truth in this region, it is that we are all so very willing to help each other. And that is just the coolest thing on the planet. So I don't see any other questions coming through. We're pretty much right at the hour. So I'm going to go ahead and close out this town hall for the 2019-2020 year. Again, thank you all of you who were able to join live. Thank you for all of you who listened all the way through the end on the recording. And we will see you in person soon. In the meantime, we'll see you in our little boxes. All right, take care, everybody. Be healthy.